Hey, welcome to another episode of Mutia Evans Show. Today's episode, I want us to talk about 5 things young people are wasting money on today. I'm talking about people in their 20s, people in their 30s, and they don't know it. So that's why it's important we talk about it, because money was not meant to be spent. You don't make money to spend it. Listen to me, young people. I know you're 20 years old and you're trying to YOLO. Yeah, they say you only live once. But if you live once, well, it's enough. But that doesn't give you the right to waste money that you've spent years making, that you've worked so hard to make. Money is meant to be invested. So you should not use money you make directly. You can use money that you've made from investments as interests or as profits, okay? But the principle should never be touched, so that in your 50s you won't be broke. You don't want to be still looking for money at 40. If you do it right in your 20s, by the time you're 40, through compounding, you'll be a rich person, you'll be a rich man, a rich woman, and so you can live that good life. It's about sacrificing today for a good tomorrow. It's about going through the pain today, yes, enduring the short-term pain for long-term gain. So stop spending your money on things that do not matter. Here are the 5 things that young people are wasting money on. Point number 1. You ready? Yes. Transport. Young people today, especially over the weekends, I like doing what people call people watching. Sometimes I just go somewhere and just see how people behave with their friends and everything. Especially during the weekends, most people show up in these joints, driving expensive machines or in Ubers. Sometimes you find someone who has a salary of 20,000 shillings, 15,000 shillings, 25,000 shillings in an Uber, in a taxi that will cost them 1,000 shillings, and you wonder, you're making 20k, bro. Where are you getting 1,000 shillings to spend on an Uber every weekend? That's a waste of money. Uber was not made for the broke people. Listen to me. Uber is a platform. Uber and every other taxi hailing company or every other taxi, it was not made for the broke people. That is a product for the rich who do not want to drive around using their own cars, and due to traffic and due to lack of parking spaces, and they want to attend a meeting in one location, another one in another location. That's why we have those cabs. So stop wasting your money on taxis. There's better things you can do with that money. That 1,000 shillings, if you just invest it today and let it be there for the next 10 years, it would be worth millions. In 20 years, multi-millionaire, just from that 1,000 shillings you spend every weekend on taxi. Okay, so if you can board a M3, that's what we call it here in Kenya. If you can board a bus and pay 50 shillings, why are you taking a taxi to pay 1,000 shillings? You have no name to protect. Yeah, you're not a CEO of a big company, you're not a socialite, you're not a musician, an artist, so you can manage to take a bus and save that much, 950 shillings. I mean, that means you've made it again if you've not spent it. So the first thing is transport. 2, experiences. And we have different ones, especially holidays. Young girls today, wow, they want to go on holiday every other weekend, every other end month. And it's not cheap to go on holiday. You'll agree with me. It costs thousands, hundreds of thousands of shillings sometimes, if not, let's say, tens of thousands of shillings to go on holiday. While you do not even have, what do we call it, an emergency fund. You're spending 30,000 shillings to go have fun in Mombasa, in Malindi, in South Coast for a week, for 3 days, 4 nights, or 4 nights and 5, whatever they say, or whatever they want to put it, however they want to put it. You go there and spend your 30K, 40K, 50K and come back broke. Well, you do not even have an emergency fund. Bro, sis, stop wasting money. Save that money. It will be worth millions of money in the future, in 20 years, 25 years. You'll still be as young as you are. Probably not looking as young as you look now, but you'll still feel the same pleasure as you'd feel today. So stop wasting your money, save it, invest it so that you can be a millionaire in the coming days. That's number 2. Experiences. Holidays, going to the clubs every weekend. I mean, don't you love your life? How do you get drunk every weekend? It's poison, bro. Sis, stop. Once in a month, once every few months, it's okay. But you can't be drinking every day. You can't be drinking every week. Unless you don't know who you are and who you want to be. Yeah, drinking every day? That's stupid. That's stupid. Don't be stupid. Have fun once in a while. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, fashion and electronics. It feels good to be in a new pair of shoes. Yes, sneakers. There's always a new sneaker every other week. There's always a new dress coming out every other week. So if you really try to compete with the designers, you'll be the loser. Unless you're walking naked. Do you really need another dress this week? Do you really need another t-shirt? Do you need more sneakers? You already have 1,000 pairs in your house that you're not using. You have 10 of them. You do not need more of those. Save that money and invest it so you can become successful and financially free in the future. The goal is not to look good. The goal is not to look fabulous, but to be fabulous. Not to look rich, but to be rich. And you'll be rich by keeping that money and investing it so that in the future you are worth millions of money and you can enjoy all these things. Okay? Yes, the same to drinks. You find someone with a salary of 15,000 shillings taking a drink worth 5,000 shillings. Really? Really? Are you mad? Are you stupid, or both? Because how do you spend half of your income on a drink? Really? Really? Please, let's change that, okay? Stop spending too much money on clothes, fashion, and electronics. You don't need an iPhone. You don't need an iPhone worth 150,000 shillings. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. You don't need an iPhone. Well, you have nothing in terms of savings. You don't even have 10,000 shillings as savings in your account, and you're walking around with an iPhone worth 150,000 shillings. If you are to be admitted to the hospital today, you have to bother everyone. Oh, help with this, help with that. No, man, stop it. Let's stop this madness. Let's stop this. A phone worth 15,000 shillings, 20,000 shillings will still get you whatever you need. It will still serve you as an iPhone worth 150,000 shillings. Especially when you're young, you're 20 years old. Why do you need an iPhone? All you do is take photos. Look at you. Spending 150,000 shillings on an iPhone to just take good photos, and then you don't even use them, to just keep them on your phone. That's a waste of money. If that money was invested in 10 years, in 20 years, it will be tens of millions of shillings, and that would make you financially free. So stop wasting money. Yes, using an iPhone or buying an iPhone worth 150,000 shillings and you have nothing else. That's all you're worth. Yeah, I see a lot of young people in a bed sitter without even a bed, but they're carrying around an iPhone. Are you mad? Yeah, you. Yeah. Why? I mean, doesn't make sense. It's common sense, but it seems most young people have lost their common sense. So stop. Stop now. Stop immediately. Number 3, things people waste money on must be what? What is the other thing that people waste money on? We've talked about first experiences. That was number 2. The first one was transport. The third one was fashion and electronics. The next one must be on rent. Yes, you can't be spending more than a quarter of your salary on rent. That's the standard. Do not spend more than a quarter of your salary on rent, no matter, a quarter of your income. When I mean salary, I'm talking about incomes and salaries. So if you're making 100K, you should not be spending more than 25,000 shillings on rent. Should be less than that, or at least 25,000 shillings. Otherwise, you're spending 50K and you're making 100K. Unless you're a mad person for you to do that. You need to keep most of that money so that at the end, you become successful. The fourth way people are wasting money, especially young people, millennials, is through food. Eating out. Young people today have become so lazy, extremely lazy, profoundly lazy, that they're not willing to make their own food, which is healthier, more nutritious, and saves them a huge chunk of money. So they're preferring to go to a restaurant every morning, every lunch, every evening, and take food from there. Let me educate you here. Maybe you were born in the 90s, you may not understand. But here's the thing. Restaurants were meant to be places for the people who have a lot of money, but they do not have time to make their own meals at home. Not you who just left campus the other day. You have all the time at your disposal, but all the little cash you're making, you're spending it on food, eating out. Food is not cheap. Food is not cheap in restaurants. You're spending 1,000 shillings on dinner and your salary is 20K, 30K, 50K. Come on, people. How do you do that? Where do you get the guts to spend 1,000 shillings on dinner when your income is less than 50K? I mean, are you okay? Upstairs? You gotta do something about it. Stop wasting money on food. That same 1,000 shillings, instead of buying a plate, go buy your groceries, buy your other stuff, make a good meal that you can take for several meals, maybe 3-5 meals, and that means you've saved a huge chunk of your money and you're eating healthier. Most of the food sold in restaurants and hotels is junk food. It's food with no value. You're just adding some more calories to your already existing overweight body. Stop it. Stop it. You're wasting money, and then the next day you need to lose weight, so you go waste more money in a gym that doesn't help you. In fact, it even makes your situation even worse, and so your life is ruined. Stop it. Start eating healthy. Make your own food at home. Okay? Good. Thank you. Finally, number 5, and probably the most what do we call it? The thing that young people are wasting their money mostly on must be alcohol. If you can't stop drinking it, if you can, of course you can. You have full control over it. Yeah, no one has a gun on you for you to take alcohol. It's something you decide to take, okay? No one forces you to drink alcohol. And it's expensive. It's expensive. Alcohol is expensive. And it has no value in your body. It's not helping you. In fact, it's doing the opposite. It's ruining you. So stop. Stop drinking alcohol if you can. If you can't, at least minimize it. Reduce it. Yep. But it's expensive. It's expensive taking alcohol. Alcohol is very expensive. You see people every other weekend spending 5,000 shillings, 10,000 shillings on alcohol. Some of them take alcohol on a daily basis. Young people, you might be thinking you're young, so you're allowed to be reckless, but you should not be taking things that lightly. It's serious. Alcohol has a lot of harm on your body, so stop it. And it also takes most of your money. And if you're not careful, today you could be thinking it's fun, but you'll end up being addicted. You don't want to get there. You really do not want to get there. Very few people make it out of that. So don't get there. Don't get into that pit. Stop taking alcohol. If you can't stop completely, do it once a month. At least your body will be fine and you won't be addicted to it. But this habit of taking it every other day, going to clubs just because you can afford it, it's not right. Just stop wasting that money. That money you're about to spend now as you watch this video. I know someone will be going to the bar after this, to the club, and have fun, get lit. That money that you're about to waste, to throw away, if you kept it, if you saved it diligently, in the next 10 years, the next 20 years, it would be millions of money, and it would afford you a lifestyle you've never imagined. That energy, use it towards building your business, your work, your job. Build that job, build that business so that you start making more. And when you make more, save more, invest more. So that by the time you're 40, 50 years old, you have more than you can spend. And I've not been a retiree, I've not retired yet, but I listen to a lot of people who have been there and who are there. If you really organize yourself so that by the time you retire, you have more money than you can spend, you enjoy your retirement. It's fun being at that point. But the moment you start depending on other people, including your kids, after retirement, then it becomes a burden. Your kids are not a retirement plan. They're just your kids. They have a life to live on their own. So make sure you build yours now. Not when you're 40, not when you have a family. It's easier to do it now when you're 20, you're 19, you're 25. So start now, okay? And stop wasting your money. Keep it, invest it, and you'll thank me later. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to like the video and subscribe, and see you in the next one. It's been me, Jay Evans. Follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and everywhere else. TikTok. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of TikTok these days. See you there. Thank you so much, and be blessed. Salud.